Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back in Sunless Sea. As you can see, we've arrived in Mount Palmerston. I just need to top up into the supplies. I've already purchased the fuel we need, some Devil Bone Dice and Z's, the Zoop we need for What's-His-Face back in London. Now we're going to go up to the crater to visit the Wistful Deviless. Let's just visit her. Perhaps it's a time of cup of fungus tea. Almost there. You're looking down, you see Port Palmerston like a toy, like da-da-da-da. The road to the crater ends at a brass gate in the crater, while beside it stands an oddly charming little college. It's thrown together from pumice and basalt, but it features honeysuckle. An equally charming deviless in a tea gown leans against the cottage wall, twirling a parasol and fanning herself. "I am the guardian of this place," she remarks languidly. "You may not pass, but can I offer you a cup of armatilla, and let's give her the news from the embassy and the gift. I don't want to cheat her out of the gift." And it's only for 150 echoes, that's not worth it. The deviless keeps little snakes as pets now, each no bigger than her little finger. She scratches their heads, she calls them by name, and once, when she thinks you aren't looking, she pops one in her mouth to chew it like a licorice treat. "What did they say?" she asks. "Delight." The deviless opens the parcel. "Anita Sherry," she pours you each a splashy glass, chattering giddily. She blushes when she sees you push the glass away. "Force of habit, I don't really want to poison you. It's such good news, isn't it? Do you really think they trust me? I would so love to get away from this ghastly little rock. Back to where the souls glow and the dances never end? So listen, I have something more valuable for them. The names of 7 devils back home who remain loyal to the aristocracy, to Brimstone. Here, take the names. Give them to the embassy. Ask them if I can come home. Sail swiftly, my brave captain. All my hopes rest with you." That is actually really sweet. That actually, yeah, I find that quite sweet. So anyways, we're going to continue on down to the Empire of Hands next, to drop off our charming adventuress, to see what she wants. She's probably going to cut. Oh, as you can see, I lost some health. That's because on my way from Frostbound to Palmerston, I decided to speed the journey up a little, so I went full power, and the engines kind of went poof. Oh, there's Aram. I'm aimed too high. Let's swing by there, grab a port report since we're already here. See if we can get the something away to in London thing. I didn't get any dark drop coffee though. Strange puff of warmth from the air behind the ice. This is the Pillar Sea where Irem will lie, lies as always lain. And would you look at that? There she is. To Carlissa's Haven or something? I think that's how you pronounce the name. I have no idea how you'd pronounce that name. Carlissi? Carlis? Carlissel? I have no idea. And we come in to dock. Beautiful. Oh right, the mirrored thing. The heavy little fellow in tan smocks will smile at you. "One of ours," he will say. "We made it to order for a Z captain to guard her legacy. She might tell you the phrase, we do not. We will keep it safe for the Z captain in case you return. She returned long ago. When it was opened, it will be safe. We will compensate you." I will ask him where to find the captain. That sounds more interesting. "Are you sure you want to know?" the heavy-lidded fellow asks. Perhaps she doesn't want to tell you the key phrase, no matter how much you offer. Perhaps she wants her box back. "What is the cat's chiefest claw? What cage in prison is nothing," the fellows say. "Where do petals begin? Where do stories end?" He beams at you. Actually, for an Irimi riddle, that's almost helpful. The area appears to be suggesting you look for the Isle of Cats somewhere to the south of the Z, probably. That would make sense. Cage is nothing where the petals begin, where the stories end. Yeah. And Bioport report since we're here. There. Actually, shops. Is there anything we can get here? Fuel supplies, Tales of Terror, Visions of Surfacing. Ooh, we could buy a secret, but no. That's not worth it. Off we go. To the Empire of Hands, our final destination. Well, not our final destination. We still have a few more places to go on this roundabout tour. And I should look at getting some more tourists from Vanderbite. I wish I could just pick them up somewhere. Oh, Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, when we were in Vinderblight, I did Something Witch Important event, and I got one of these again, a Soothing Copper Long Box. Delivered to Post Station 3, so yeah, looks like we have a reason to go back there again. And I didn't even have to pick something up from Niram, which is where I picked up the last one. So Vinderblight's now a more interesting place to visit, at least. Not, not Niram, Vinderblight is now a more interesting place to visit. It might almost be worth it. I need to do the math. I should check to see how much fuel I use on the trip to Vinderblight. But it might be worthwhile just to travel back and forth a bunch of times to pick up a bunch of Soothing Copper Long Boxes, if I can carry more than one, that is. And there we go, we've arrived at the Empire of Hands. Well, we're approaching. We haven't arrived yet. Ash Isthmus is the name of that island. Oh, excuse me. Now I wonder if we can do another port report, because that adventure with the girl was funny. Although, reduced our terror, so it's kind of worth it. Despite the lack of clothes. Poor Mary. She's our current captain, isn't it? Yeah, poor Mary. I would imagine most of the crew would be male, because sailing's not typically something you see women doing, although I have to say I do have some real-life friends who do sail. The delightful adventuress leans over the rail of the ship, sniffing the humid air with an enviant distaste. What a filthy, damp little place! Oh well, we shall endure. At the sight of the mare hobbling up, she straightens. A thin, insecure smile spreads across her face. Ah, you there, my good primitive, she calls, striding down the ramp and clasping his arm tight. Now then, I come in search of your first Emperor's vault, and for that I shall be needing a few things. Some of your finest workers and tools, and some food. Do you understand me? She shakes her head, barely waiting for a response. F-O-O-D, she replies. Comprehendes? Oh dear, I see we shall be here for a while. Listen, I hear you fellows rather like souls. Shall we discuss that like higher primates? Came from Virginia. Barnabas wants to settle with his mistress, while his mistress negotiates the value of her soul to the mayor. Wait, she's going to sell her soul. She's not very bright. A man with no face. Barnabas removes his mask with what looks to be a silent moment of great relief. Underneath is nothing, just a flat surface where his face should have been. Ah, an unfinished clay man. One of those flawed products of polytheism that follow their own rules. If only you know that before he boarded, of course. That's why the adventuress never mentioned it. He silently presents you with your agreed fee, dips his head in a polite bow, and lumbers back to his mistress. It appears she has struck a deal with the mayor. The delightful adventuress will establish a base camp on Fountainhead Island. She welcomes your assistance as one who has proven to not be entirely useless. We've gained 200 echoes. Oh. We can travel to these other islands. Travel to her stake. Let's see what we can get here. Lost return. You join the pirates at sea. He just hopes to one day see someone he recognizes. Join a raid on the Empire of Hands. No thanks. Return to port. Let's see what this does. He came well prepared for his journey unless your idea of preparation has been to include a compass, a map not written in riddles, a sextant, and a pair set of spectacles to compensate for severe biphobia. His adventures has left him with many tools for finding sea, and his directions is not one of them. Persuade him to give him a map. Trade a live specimen for a flare. Trade stories with lost. Okay, we can't do that, so let's trade recent news for dynamite. Why not? You have 3 sticks of dynamite. Okay, let's return to the boat then. And let's visit Fountainhead. Visit the delightful adventuress's camp. With a small army of monkeys bought with her soul, she excavates the vault of the First Empire. The delightful adventuress, helped by her faceless clay man, bodyguard Barnabas, and a small group of worker monkeys hired for the price of her soul, works to excavate the vault of the First Emperor. The delightful adventuress is already uncovered and put aside many treasures. A small statue amongst them looks particularly interesting. Sure, let's grab that while we're here. And then speak with her. Oh, it's you, of course. Help me with these blasted maps, would you? These monkeys are quite clueless. She shakes her head. I keep changing her voice, I know. They claim our souls uplift them, but if you ask me, it's just a case of monkey see, monkey do. Can you believe they think that Zeppelin of theirs will let them create a new empire? Wait, you there? Take that out of your mouth this very second. Is it just the same one each time? Yeah. To the vault. It may look centuries old, but this entryway is relatively new. The monkeys can never leave alone, always adding bits on their whims demands. Uh, Lock with Emperor exploring the vault of the first emperor. So let's outside the vault. To rush Darling is to court tragedy. The delightful adventuress pays barely any attention to you as she prepares. She is not yet ready to open the vault. You should return later when she has a chance to organize her monkey workers. This may take a while. Okay. I guess that's all we can do, so let's return to the boat. Alright, this one. Sovereign Island. Now they have a gift for the Emperor. Gain access to the court. The gates are guarded by 2 armored monkeys that would look adorable if not for the blood on their bayonets. Humans are not welcome without an invitation or a worthy gift for the Emperor. The stench and heat as the gates open are sucker punch to your senses. Inside the stiked air of the windowless wood panels hang with sweat and taste of air. Everything is filthy, and every surface used. The apes as likely to swim across the roof as walk the floors. In prized oases of relative calm, the high-souled conduct themselves with the poise of high-born lords and ladies. Around them, their barely uplifted lessers scamper around exhausted, taking orders and cruelties from all who care to displease them. In the middle are countless more, a sea of apes longing for advancement and fighting for what they have with tooth, claw, and low-cutting. An occurrence of your empire's wildhood status is now 5. Sure. Summoned by the Emperor. Official welcome. The Emperor sits on his throne, wrapped in robes of violet and wearing an ornate gold mask. He remains motionless, silent. He could be mistaken for a statue if not for an almost imperceptible nod to grant his seneschal permission to speak his name. She approaches, arms folded in the rem-trimmed yellow robes of a court mandarin. Her expression is carefully blank. The chestnut hair on her face, powdered alabaster white, and decorated with exquisite detail in red and black. The rings on her fingers mark her as a 10-souled ape, a status even the Admiralty can respect. She bows before you, a complicated ritual display of sweeping sleeves that somehow never breaks eye contact. Finished, she waits for your response. Oh, crud. Let's try it. Flicker of disapproval. Did you do something wrong? It appears so. It's now 12:32. The exquisite gesture requires your assistance to supply the Emperor of Hands. Great work. A zeppelin that will take them to a new home far away from here. Materials for the journey. You point out that the Admiralty has the Empire of Hands both under embargo and quarantined. The only thing worse to be caught doing here than supplying them would be helping them escape their confinement. Have your people not already caused us enough pain, she demands? We starve, and you would prevent us being fed. We thirst to explore, and you cage us like animals. Why? For what fine purpose? What threat are we to you? Who happily dines with devils? She shakes her head almost pity. What could you possibly see in that shames you do so? Sure, why not? With a pair of servants to row the boat, she takes you to the Zeppelin site in Port Stanton. It was originally the project of a traveler from afar hoping to travel east, who encountered an accident in his plans to engine. However, the monkeys saw their opportunity. Their great exodus will require supplies and fuel. We also seek souls to uplift our brethren that may join the work. You will, of course, be reasonably compensated for your expense and rewarded upon completion. Show since there may be faster ways to complete the Zeppelin. To say more would require a level of trust you have not yet earned. Build status in court and by supplying the Zeppelin. So how many supplies? They need 100 supplies and 100 souls. Contribute souls to the Zeppelin. Okay, working with the delightful adventures will unlock in that way. Okay, that's good. Contribute supplies, contribute. Unlock to 10. Okay, we have to give them 10 and 5 at a time. Hopefully it pays well. We should. So next time we stop at Mount Palmerston, we can load up on fuel and do that. Pilot report. Let's do the Stack Village. Alright, there's nothing we can do with this guy. Return to the boat. Fountainhead. To the Vault of the First Emperor. Is she ready? Okay. The delightful adventuress consults papers, while her claimant Barnabas and a small crew of variable, hard-working monkeys try to force it open the doors. Ah, you're here, she calls. Do pick up a crowbar. There, it's a deer. Bit of elbow grease should do it. Right, on the count of 3. Muscles, human and primate-like, strain as the delightful adventuress harries everyone along. Finally, with a crack and a screech of triumph and exhaustion, the door slides open. Inside is just blackness. There, now, chop chop everyone, declares the delightful adventuress, striding into the dark with a personal glim lantern. Behind her, her monkeys collapse to the ground, gasping as state occasionally stolen words and squeals of protest escape into the air. Okay, we have candles. Sweet. The life of adventuress does not require her glim. Will not relinquish her glim lantern. You will need foxfire candles to light your way. One crate should suffice for the entire exploration. Awesome. At the bottom of the stairs is a room with a sealed stone door. In front of that stands a pointedly placed plinth holding 3 thin pillars and some stone discs. The delightful adventuress rolls her eyes. A trial of the mind, it appears. How very adorable. It appears that our monkey friends, ancestors, have absorbed more than a few souls with a passion for things of the pulp. Well, that should make things interesting. She slaps her shoulder. Do the honors, Capitano. Well, at least 3 poles, stone discs. Oh, please. The Tower of Hanno puzzle. That little children's game that has been amusing London in recent years. This antechamber must be a more recent addition to the vault than it looks, if even the monkeys have brought it into this legend. Oh, I know this game too. 15 stone discs. Ah, a minor problem reveals itself. Well, I see that you have this under control, declares the delightful adventuress, heading back upstairs. I will leave it in your evidently very capable hands. Wait, your Empire of Han's Tower of Hanno moves remaining quality is now 32,767? Okay. Continue solving it. If you keep this up, it should be done just in time to see the 6th city. 32766. Really? They expect me to do this. I see why there's the dynamite thing here. There. Bits of rubble and clockwork fly. The stonework trembles slightly as if about to collapse, but then settles with just the occasional plink-plink of metal and the tinkle of falling shards and gears of all sizes. Well, that is certainly one solution, declares the delightful adventuress, unplugging her ears. I think, though, darling, I shall be taking the rest of those. Cannot fault your thinking, but we'd rather reach the center of this quaint little tomb without ourselves becoming buried in it. Would we not? Still a splendid resourcefulness, splendid top marks. Ah, she took our dynamite. Dang it. Press on. A huge maze stretches out before you. The delightful adventure produces a large ball of yarn. With all due respect to Theseus, she says, nailing one end to the wall, I suspect, however, that we shall not have to worry about a minotaur lurking in this particular maze. Come on, such things are hardly a problem for a woman of adventure. This will take but a jiffy. She leads the way with utter confidence, even when it becomes clear she has no idea where she's going, even when it becomes painfully obvious to all that she is merely turning left at every intersection, confident that eventually this will lead to the exit. The string runs out long before the maze does, yet somehow this does not feel like an insurmountable problem for returning. Onwards. A mosaic floor stands between you and the door. The delightful adventuress catches your arm before you can step into it. Oh, sweetie, she sighs, pointing at the walls. Little holes run down both of them, just large enough to see the readied crossbow bolts behind. Isn't this wonderful, she says. I have seen many, many tombs, but most just put something big and heavy in front of the door. Bless their hearts for all this effort into something nobody was ever supposed to see. Anyway, be a dear. I'll be outside if you need me. Really, girl? Examine the mosaic floor. 9 color tiles which across the floor. Be careful, choosing wrong may lead to a wound. 3 wounds may mean death. Okay. Too far to jump. How many wounds do we have? We have 1 wound. Language is recognized. It was that bit of pictogram, but here we go. The monkey tongue follows no apparent rules, being a creole of many and diluted with each new scribe. It would take someone capable of writing it even stand a chance of decrypting it, but the age of inscriptions and lack of anything similar elsewhere in the Empire of Hands just as a long-lost art. Perhaps the exquisite seneschal may help. Well, off way back, return to the surface. Return to the boat. I wanted to visit Ash Ishmus. This is the one with the girl. The monkey foundling's hut. She does not seem to be here right now. A pair of Pentecosted apes are, though, glaring at you with equal part malice and their usual avarice. The 2 Pentecosted apes attack, snarling and hissing. Their raw ferocity forces a retreat, although they do not follow and press the advantage. Once you are through the trees, the chase ends. Peering through the foliage, you see them quietly return to their strange vigil. Okay. Let's see if we can find a seneschal. Nope. Zeppelin? No. The court. Alright, the seneschal. Sell some airport. Sell to the ambitious page. We're not selling our soul. Silent gallery? What is this? You're going to the silence is a pleasant slap to the face, sweetly scented with incense inside the exquisite sensual deals with many. Here we go. Report the Zeppelin's completion. Plan supplies for the Zeppelin. Okay, how do we get this guy to like us? Visitor in the court. Feeding frenzy. Newly five-souled ape trembles in the spotlight, surrounded by ranks of jeering, mocking monkeys throwing vicious abuse in the occasional rock. Its humiliations have gone on for a while. By the time you arrive, the latest of them being publicly shaved as proof of commitment. As you watch from the corner, it plunges its head into a large bowl of, oh, how it wishes it was water until its breath fails, only to be held under until its thrashing ends, only then is let it slump to straw, limp unconsciousness. The crowd turns to the three mandarins, whose decision is final. They turn their backs. The unfortunate ape's carcass is dragged away as another steps forward to try its luck. Two echoes. Okay. And we can give them gifts. So, souls, mushroom wine. Yeah, I think the best way to do it would be to get souls, not souls, fuel from Mount Palmerston and selling them there. But that's going to be the end of this episode. I will see you in the next one, where we will be exploring the wreck of the Nocturne. See you then. Bye.